through the window, straight from the sun above. And so inside my little room, there plunged the rays of love. In streams of light I clearly saw the dust you seldom see, out of which the nameless makes a name for one like me. I'll try to say a little more. Love went on and on until it reached an open door. Then love itself was gone. All busy in the sunlight, the flecks did float and dance, and I was tumbled up with them in formless circumstance. I'll try to say a little more. Love went on and on until it reached an open door. Then love itself was gone. Then I came back from where I'd been. My room, it looked the same, but there was nothing left between the nameless and the name. All busy in the sunlight, the flecks did float and dance, and I was tumbled up with them in formless circumstance. I'll try to say a little more. Oh, love went on and on until it reached an open door. Then love itself